once again, everybody. I'm Craig DeGeorge with Bruno Sammartino. Welcome to the Fury Hour here on Sports Channel America. This week also joined by Captain Lou Albano and flanked by two of the greatest here. Captain Lou with another Captain's Corner, and you took care of Mr. Red last week. What's in store for this week?
Well, I got to say, you saw what happened, Greg DeGeorge, a man out command here, repulsive. I mean, just a big fat slob, and I shouldn't talk about fat because I'm probably fatter than him, but I had to do what I felt was right. There's not a wrestler in that league that I can beat, but however, when it came to Mr. Ed or Mr. Red or Mr. Ted, whatever you want to call him,
Mr. Red
I went
is
out
okay.
there, well, we'll call him anything you want,
right.
but I had to put the man in his place, and I had to call a spade and call it like it's that, baby.
All right, we'll hear more from Captain Lou. We got some new faces as well this week, Bruno.
Indeed, we have some new faces, and of course they want to try out with the UWF, and we'll see how they fare out.
Mr. Ninja, Captain Ninja as well, Cuban Assassin, many others to come this week on the Fury Hour.
Last week on the Fury Hour, our main event was a match between Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, and Cowboy Bob Orton. Due to the length of the match, there wasn't time to finish it. This evening, you will see the entire match in its entirety. Sit back, enjoy. Catch up on the match that you missed or might have missed last week.
The next contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring at this time, the 245-pounder from St. Louis, Missouri. This is the ace, Cowboy His opponent weighs 240 pounds and hails from Brandon, Florida. This is Mr. Wonderful,
Back over there again, hits him again, knocks him down to the cement.
Yeah, but you see the referee's outside now. He should be inside the ring counting. And, you know, if they come in, fine. Otherwise, you double count out. But, you know, he shouldn't be out there trying to control the match
Letting
outside.
the action continue, which is not what he should be doing. That
Absolutely.
action's supposed to be inside the ring. Now he's reprimanding Orton, finally, but he is still not giving a count to Mr. Wonderful. Now he starts it.
And we can't see Orndorff. Can't see, oh, there he is. I think I just saw him. Looks like he's on his feet. But there's the ace. There's Orton grabbing him by the wrist. Wow. Strapping him on that top rope.
In case you're just tuning in, Orton starting off this match going right after Orndorff before he had a chance to get his robe off. Orton went after him and then threw him out to the cement, hit him several times. Finally, Orndorff has made his way inside the ring. But again, Orton continues to just pile up the shots, and they've got to, you know, you just think about these shots he's been taking, Bruno, and they add up. They're not just
They really do. We know that Orndorff's got great recuperative powers. We know he can take a lot of punishment. We know he can come back. But I'll tell you, the way Orton's attacked him from the very, very beginning and delivered such enormous blows, it's going to be a tough job for Orndorff to come back. But again, you can never count him out. Paul
continues to be in such outstanding shape, though. With this wonder how much this does affect him. Look at him here. Look at the veins in his neck, Bruno. He's taking right hands, and he's just getting more and more psyched about it. Ducked under that one, hits him with the right hand. 3 more.
Man, Orndorff's on fire after all the punishment that he took. Look at him, he's really got... Oh, goes over the top rope and into the steel post.
He's out of the midsection. Orndorff, pumped up here, making a comeback. Most impressive. Foot to the midsection. Hey,
you show no mercy at this time. I mean, the way Orton took on Orndorff, then he has the audacity to get on his knees and saying, hey, hold the time out. And Orndorff came right over with that kick in the midsection, staying on.
Over the canvas there for the ace.
Absolutely.
How you doing? The canvas replied, I'm doing a little bit better than you are, big guy. Oh, he scraped the face there of Orndorff.
That's one way to slow him down. Well, you know what's really a shame here, Craig? These two guys are both tremendously talented wrestlers, but there's so much hate between these two that when they go in the ring, they kind of throw wrestling out, and it just becomes a vicious brawl. And it's a shame in a way, because these two guys are both such capable wrestlers that if they went out there and gave a wrestling match, I think that you would see like two artists in that ring, because they are tremendous wrestlers, both of them.
They will go with you scientific shot after scientific shot with the best of them. You're right about that.
But there's so much hate between the two. They're so desperate to get in there and do harm, physical harm to the other one, that, like I say, wrestling is left in the back, and the vicious kicks and punches and running against the steel post, that's what takes place.
Been more like a brawl.
Oh, that's what it is. Although the past 30 seconds or so, Orton has gone to the Orndorff's left arm.
Orndorff defeated Colonel De Beers in the beach brawl, and that video cassette is now available.
This wrist lock here, it's going to be interesting. This is going to be a little feat of strength here. Who's stronger? Can Orndorff keep that wrist lock, or is Orndorff going to get up and overpower?
What a wrist lock's all about right there. Oh, it's Orton, though. It is Orton who responded.
It's one way to get the upper hand, a nice handful of that hair, and yank him right down.
He's looking for a submission here, and you don't get too many of those from Mr. Wonderful, that's for sure. Orndorff, the former New Orleans Saint, played football also at the University of Tampa, was an All-American in high school, and right now also has a business on the side, has some bowling alleys, bowling centers in the
entrepreneur
area. Yes.
That's Orndorff, a great athlete, there's no question about it. Football, wrestling, other sports he's played. But on the other hand, you're talking at Bob Orton, comes from a wrestling family. His father was a great wrestler. His brother's a terrific wrestler. And he himself, too, played some high school or college football. Great athlete. Both of these two guys, both great athletes.
Another test of strength on the wrist lock. Last time, Orton was able to get out of it and knock down Orndorff. This time, though, it is Orton that goes down. Orndorff up the rope, knocks him down again. He is definitely rekindling some of those New Orleans Saints days there with those moves. Now he gets thrown out of the ring. This crowd has been in a frenzy throughout this evening's matches here on Sports Channel America.
Well, I'll tell you, especially the last two matches, is certainly people have gotten as much action they could possibly expect or want to see. I mean, the last match with the Blackhearts, and now this particular match, which of course we knew. This is no surprise to us, Craig. We knew what these two guys were capable of doing. They're both such great wrestlers. But the Blackhearts, I think, against Johnson and DeFurio. Whoa, did you hear that?
Oh, that table. He nearly broke that table in half. Right in front of us. Orton, he's got the chair down. And he hits him in the back and knocks him down again. Orndorff's going to line him up again with the chair, and he hits him again. Now he throws the chair out of the way. The referee's got to get these guys in the ring, Bruno.
Well, but see, the referee, in my opinion, he should be in the ring counting. He shouldn't be outside the ring here. What's he doing out here? He should be out there counting, and if they don't get back, one of them doesn't get back by the count of 10, it's a double disqualification, double count out.
Not back in now, so he's looking for the count out. I'm not sure what the referee is saying to Orton, but Orndorff is lucky the count has not started yet.
Well, he took some vicious blows, Paul Orndorff did with the chair. And, you know, after, well, I'll tell you, this match has been brutal.
Right hand to the head of Orndorff. I'll tell you the amazing thing about Orndorff, all the action and hair somehow stays in place. He's got the, how the heck does that happen? Still got that part. He looks like he just got out of the shower after the hair blow.
I don't think Orndorff is thinking about his hair right now, if it's messed up or not.
You're right about that, Bruno.
I think he's got a few aches and pains.
Just an observation from ringside. Orton continues to work on the shoulder now of Orndorff. These two have just about went up and down, legs, backs, fronts, arms, necks, heads.
He's got a double wrist lock there, now switching into, let's see, he's going to take it to a hammer lock or a shoulder lock here. But that's punishing, I'll tell you. Now Orndorff could have the cheap way out. All he'd have to do is the referee would have to break it. And he may well do that, but knowing Orndorff, he may just fight it out and try to get out of it, you know, on his own. Without the referee's aid, I guess.
I was over at Paul's house a few weeks ago. I was happened to be flipping through his dictionary. Do you know the word submission is not in his dictionary?
It's not in his dictionary,
It's not there, no.
Okay.
Taken out a long time ago. It just doesn't happen with this guy. You're not going to beat him by making him submit.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'd hate to see that shoulder break, snap, because the word submission not in his dictionary.
That's just how the guy is. I think he'd rather have a shoulder broken than...
I know what you mean.
He's that kind of character.
You're right, that's true, because he's not the quitter, and he's not going to quit. And right now, there's no question, a lot of pain. Right now, this hammer lock. A lot of people looking at a hammer lock, they say, wow, that doesn't look so bad. But I'll tell you what, you get caught in one, and it's plenty bad, especially this now, coming down with his knee. That hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, that does, because that arm can't go anywhere. It's locked in there. And then he puts the knee right into the back of the bicep.
I'll tell you, it's been a great hour of action.
It certainly has, Bruno.
He's hanging on to that hammer lock, Orton. And of course, very wisely, because, you know, keep working that body part, weaken it. And, you know, then you put, of course, your opponent into a great disadvantage.
These moves will not bring the crowd out of their seat. And as a wrestler, Bruno, you can't worry about win. Orndorff taking the better of the shots after a series of hammerlocks by the ace. Ace continues to be consistent, working on the left hand, left arm of Orndorff. Orndorff trying to size up a right, it looks like.
Now, if he can hit him with that fist and catch him in the jaw, I'll guarantee you that Orton will let go of that left arm.
Let him right back down. Another great hour coming up next week here on Sports Channel America. We'll see the Cuban Assassin in his debut, along with the Wild Thing Steve Ray and B. Brian Blair. Next week, same bat time here on Sports Channel America.
Seems like Paul just can get away from that hold that Orton's got him on. He's trying. You know what he's going to do? You watch. He's going to get up, and instead of aiming that fist, he's going to catch Orton with a quick right. And that's what he's got to do.
He's got to just throw it.
Well, oh, look at this. He's not going down.
Again. Oh, there it is. There it is. He landed 3. He landed 4 rights. He may land another. He does. Orndorff finally busting loose with 5 rights. Now the elbow. He has rocked Orton. Reversal, nice job on Ace, but he missed him and he hit the steel post.
Boy, he really rammed that shoulder against that steel post. And look at Orndorff taking advantage now. That's what you got to do.
He's trying to pull the arm right off.
Well, why not? Hey, listen, after you ran his shoulder against that steel post, you grab that arm, you got to work on it. And this could very well do it for giving it. Right back. You don't think that put a little pain in both the elbow, the wrist, the shoulder.
Trying to throw Orton out. Orton pulls down and throws Orndorff out. Boy, this has been one conquest after another. Just when you think one is going down for the count, There's a change of fortune.
Yeah, it's certainly. Well, I guess you might say this match is just about going the way we expected and thought it would go. Just back and forth, a lot of great action, a lot of tremendous blows, a lot of pain being inflicted here on both sides.
Elbow to the head of Mr. Wonderful. And he's back where he started this match, on that cement floor. And that looks like it may wind up right here again. Orton goes into the steel post. And Orton looking like the neighborhood bum at this point here, wobbling around. Takes another shot from Orndorff. Oh! He went for a ride and broke the chair, I believe, on the table.
That table just busted and he balled Orndorff really well. Now look at this, going to get even. Here comes the chair. Bam!
Rocked him good with that chair. He went for a ride on the table, and now they're going to call it. What was that?
I think it was somebody's beard. He choked.
And they're trading rights and lefts. And it's an ascent of a brewery here now, folks. Orton thrown on the wood to the left of the ring. Oh, he crocked him. He crocked him with I think he has a beta tape. Is
it fair to say that these two guys really hate each other? I mean, look at this. I mean, they really want to do each other in. I mean, they won't stop. You can't see, you can ring a bell all you want. These guys, whoa! The referee just took a shot.
Has lost it. He has absolutely lost it. He's on the top rope. Orton is in the ring. Orton goes out.
I'll tell you, these people all on their feet. Everybody in this building is standing up. But the match is over, unfortunately. Orndorff is in the ring, but Orton, all he has to do is really go back to the dressing room because this match is going to be no winner.
Orton.
This match is over, and I think everybody knows it except Orndorff and Orton.
They don't want to end it. Look at this. And it's going to continue. Oh, he hit the ref! Michaels, the referee, taking yet another shot. And now they're in it again. And I'm telling you, it smells like we're in Milwaukee or something.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
That brewery.
Oh, look at this. Orton says the heck with it.
Orton is making his way out. Orndorff looking around.
There's Orndorff. He's saying, hey, look at the guy come
He's
up.
saying he's running away, Bruno.
I know you don't, Paul. Paul says I don't drink.
Well, he does not drink, but he's got at least 24 ounces all over him right now.
Like you saw here, you saw moral victory for Orndorff because the guy ran out of the ring and Orndorff is still in the ring.
Captain Lou, it smells like we're in a Milwaukee brewery right now, running.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous. Paul Orndorff is a great athlete, Bruno. I mean, it's hard to believe what was on. It's
double disqualification, but Orndorff won a moral victory here because it was Orton who finally made his exit.
Wild match here. Wrapping up this week's exciting hour.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this week it's Captain Lou Albano back again with the Captain's Corner. And you know, in the field of professional wrestling and universal wrestling, you have without a doubt the finest array of talent in the world today. Now, this is something different. This is a first right here in Universal Wrestling, baby. I thump it for a minute because the man has got me confused. I'm going to bring out the keeper with the animal, and here they come. Come on, keeper.
Come here. Get over here. Get over here.
Here you go.
Now, you stand right there.
Thank
You
you,
do
Mike,
what
baby.
you're told. Thank
Get
you.
up here.
How you doing?
All
My
right,
name-
I'll hold the mic for you. Just speak. I got it.
This is the what? What? This is the what? Oh, this is the friend. That's the animal. Are you happy now?
Yes.
Now shut up and stay there. Don't you move.
Okay.
Don't you get smart either. Don't move.
Smart?
We are here. We are new. We don't care who we face. We don't care who we go up against. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Hungry.
What did I tell you about that stuff? No, that is wrong. You can't win with that. And Stop eating that. Now put it down.
Keeper, where'd you
Put it
find
down.
man? Where'd you get him from, Keeper?
Bronx Zoo.
Bronx Zoo.
Got him out of there to the kindness of my heart.
How much?
What are you doing?
What's that?
What are
He's
you
got in his
doing?
mouth.
What are you doing? I told you you cannot eat. Give me that. Give me that.
Is that a
No,
rock?
I don't want it.
What's up? No, I don't want any of
I
that.
told you ain't gonna eat unless you win, and if you don't win, you don't
What
eat.
is that? Is that a raw steak that the man
That
was
is a
eating?
raw steak. If he
Good.
wins, he can eat.
This guy's an animal. This guy's a lunatic. There's
That-
something wrong with this guy. Look at the eyes. Look at the cheekbones. Look at the facial expression. The man's under the medulla of this man's brain lies an IQ of -7. This man is a mental halfwit. Look at him.
Huh?
Huh? Tell me more about him, Keeper.
Bear with me. Laugh. Be amused. It does not matter. Look what happens when you are hungry. What you look like. When I don't feed you, what do you look like? Take a good look, because we are here.
The man's got the IQ of a -7. Take a look at his eyes. Look at the cheekbones. Look at the facial expression. Look at the gaze look. The man is a demented halfwit. Look at him.
This is Len, the UWF matchmaker, bringing you this week's UWF official ratings. On top of the boards, as you can see, the TV champion, Steve Dr. Death Williams. The #1 contender to the belt, Bam Bam Bigelow. #2 on the ratings this week, Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff. #3, the Bad Street Boy sneaks in, Terry Bam Bam Gordy. #4, Steve the Wild Thing Ray, a major contender to Steve Williams' championship. And #5, the ex-champ himself, Bob Backlund. #6 in the ratings this week, Cowboy Bob Orton, splitting up with his former partner, right below him, Cactus Jack. Everyone saw that at the beach brawl. #8, the sadistical, the maniacal Colonel De Beers. I would think he'd have to watch out for Paul Orndorff. #9, the Tampa boy himself, pulling in at #9, B. Brian Blair, a major force in the UWF. And #10 to finish it out, Ivan Koloff. We'll be back with more exciting UWF action after this.
Okay, wrestling fans, here's the latest thing to hit the UWF. Introducing the UWF Superstars Cookies. We've got the Steve Ray Wild Thing cookie. Our champ's favorite, the Steve Williams cookie. And besides all that, we've got the Paul Orndorff cookie. We also have 4 new kinds coming soon. The Bruno Sammartino, the Lou Albano, and the Herbie cookie. And let's not forget the B. Brian Blair cookie. It's honey flavored. Now you've had the rest, now try the best. The Universal Wrestling Federation Superstar Cookies. Look for all of them in your local supermarket, and UWF arenas around the country.
This week on the Fury Hour, we'd like to introduce you to a new show, To the Point. It's a talk show hosted by Herb Abrams and Captain Lou Albano. Each week their guests will be people from all walks of life, from motion pictures, from television, from radio, from the streets of New York, and from Hollywood. This week, for the first episode, their guest is the living legend, Bruno Sammartino.
We have a man that is truly a legend in the minds of millions and the people throughout the world. A man that was a 14-year world champion, has accomplished many feats that are untouchable today. I'm going to bring the one and only, my friend, your friend, the people's friend, Bruno Sammartino. Come on out, Bruno.
Bruno, welcome to In This Corner.
Hi, champ.
How are you?
Pleasure to have you here. Bruno, I'd like to ask you, get yourself mic'd up. Put your mic on, Bruno. You were a little slow at that, but just get together with it. Bruno, I'd like to ask you, there's a lot of controversy going on today in the world of professional wrestling and all sports. I'd like some of your input, some of your opinions on what is going on in the, we know we've been reading newspapers, we've been watching talk shows, we hear about the different controversies. I'd like you to give some of your input about wrestling of today and what's going on.
Well, you know, Captain, you know, Herb, we always, unfortunately, in all sports, showbiz, whatever, occasionally you hear some things that are very detrimental to that very profession. It happens. It happened in baseball. It happened in football. It happened, in all businesses. Wrestling, of course, has been our life. God, we've both been in it now for over 30 years, and Herb here's been promoting for the past year or so, but he's also been a promoter in so many other different businesses, showbiz and what have you. So I think he understands the whole situation. That what's happened to professional wrestling, it hurts me because I love this game. I was in it for so many years. I wrestled all over the world, as you know, Captain. And all of a sudden, in recent times, there are certain things that have really turned me off because wrestling has taken a turn for the worse, as far as I'm concerned. There always has been some showmanship in professional wrestling, but in recent years, one of the organizations has really come on with a new concept that, in my opinion, has taken the sport of wrestling out, and it's been strictly almost a cartoon show for kids. I never liked that. That hurt me because, again, I say the love I have for the game. But as you guys know, recently out of Harrisburg, we've been following the papers, television, radio about this trial concerning this doctor who has been supplying for many, many years steroids and some other drugs to some very well-known wrestlers, not only to the wrestlers themselves, but even to the promoter of that particular league that we're talking about. And of course, I know for myself, and I'm sure, Lou, you run into the same situation, people are somewhat shocked and disappointed and disillusioned because so many kids do watch wrestling and
look to the people as role models and so forth. They take
exactly. And then when you hear all these negative things, it is a lot of people are in an uproar. And frankly, for me, number one, it bothers me tremendously that this has happened to our business. But number two, in a way, I'm glad it has been discovered. It has been brought before the public because now these people are going to have to either shape up or get shipped out because we don't need this kind of nonsense, these evil things in our business, and so I'm hoping that with everything that's come out of this case, out of Harrisburg, I'm hoping that now proper steps will be taken, not by the league itself, which I question that because they claim that they're going to self-clean. I'm not sure that I feel too confident about that, but perhaps through outside influence.
From an independent
yes, I believe that perhaps Herb...
Bruno, let me ask you this. When you were wrestling for as many years as you have, what was the situation with steroids at that time?
When I first turned pro in 1959, I can honestly say I'd been competing in both Olympic lifting and powerlifting, and I was wrestling amateur. I had never even heard that word, steroids. Around 1964 or so, I had been world champion already for about a year or two at the time when I first heard the word steroid. And I asked a friend of mine who owned a gym in New York what they were, and he first introduced me to what steroids mean. They told me it's a hormone that people are injecting themselves or taking it orally, and what it does is makes the muscle grow a lot quicker, makes you stronger quicker. But they also said that there were so many things that they did not know about the side effects of these things. And of course, as the years have gone by, we have learned more and more that very, very dangerous these drugs are. People have died from it. People have become, people who are waiting, in even other sports, I'm talking about football, waiting for heart transplants. Yes. Somebody's needing kidneys transplants. I mean, and the trouble is that in wrestling, like I said, for myself, I had never heard of anybody on steroids in the late 50s or the 60s. In the 70s, I started hearing a name here and there in steroids in professional wrestling. But by the middle 70s, I would say, I remember that we used to do TVs out of this town, Allentown in Hamburg, whatever, and for this other league, this other organization. And it was very obvious that how many of the guys were more and more getting into it as they were getting their supplies from this doctor.
When you say it's obvious, do you mean the muscular, chiseled body build? Is that...
Well, Herb, like I said, I've been in weightlifting for years, both Olympic lifting and powerlifting, and I know what it takes and how long it takes for your body to transform itself, especially if you were a heavy person, with
cutting down.
Yeah, or if you were very thin. It takes a lot of hard work, years of training, proper dieting, and so forth. And when you see someone that looks okay today and looks great in 6 months or a year,
it's not an overnight.
Not normal.
Bruno, what you're trying to say, it's not an overnight process. But one other thing I wish you would point out to people out there watching and all our sporting fans and so forth, that it's not necessary. If you have a good frame if you got a good mind, if you train hard and you eat well, look at you, Bruno, in 1959, bench pressing, in those days, unheard of, 565 pounds, and doing 38 consecutive reps from 330, and I know that I was with you. You never took steroids. You've always been a clean athlete. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to our famous guest, the legendary Bruno Sammartino.
The tragedy is that the youth today, the youth of America today, because they hear so much about these steroids and whatever, they don't believe that you could achieve this through natural training and hard training. They think that you have to. I have had people who have read books. There was a book out of York that told about many lifters' feats, and they talked about mine. And I had some young wrestlers come to me and say to me, "Come on, Bruno, you did 565 with a 2-second pause and 715-pound squats and that." I said, "Yeah." They said, "You had to be on something." That's the tragedy, because they don't believe that you could achieve those kind of lifts unless you're on steroids. And I keep telling, you know, schools that I've gone to and different people that I speak to, young groups and so forth, I try to tell them, that's a lie. You can absolutely achieve if you're willing to work hard, dedicate yourself. You can. There's no limit as to how far you can go. Listen, without bragging here, when I did 565 in a bench, I can tell you that most of these steroid users aren't doing 565. So what I'm saying is that
it can be done
It can be done naturally. All it takes is, well, in my case, you have to have, of course, the proper frame, you know, to dictate as to how far you can go. There are certain things that your physical makeup that one has to have naturally. I mean, I may have been real skinny, but I had big bones and so forth and so on. And this is all important in how far you can go. But the most important thing is, even if you can achieve, by taking steroids, you can become Mr. America, you can become a world champion wrestler. What good is it if 10, 15 years down the road they can either kill you or you can become an invalid as a result of it?
Don't look for the quick solution. That's
absolutely.
Well, unfortunately, as we know, a good friend of ours, Lyle Alzado, who is in the football, industry, he has openly admitted that he's been on steroids and he's got a very serious problem because of it. I think we want to get the message across to the young people out there that look up to these people that are on steroids and think twice before they get involved in something like that.
Well, you know, Lyle Alzado is doing that, and I take my hat off to him because he's helping a lot of young kids.
Yes, he is.
But a former wrestler, we have to mention, too, that is doing a great job right now, and that's Billy Graham, superstar Billy Graham. Because Billy Graham has come out and said, "I have a lot of problems. Look at me. I've had surgery after surgery. I have some liver problems. I have all these problems." And it's all from steroids, and he's telling everybody, if you're on it, get off of it, and if you're not on it, for God's sakes, don't go.
Okay, Bruno, fine. Can I interrupt you for 1 minute? Then how about the role models out there that have openly been reputed to be taking the steroids? Why shouldn't they come out to the youth of America and say, "Yes, I've taken steroids, I was wrong, I've done wrong, but it's the wrong thing to do because the after effects are worse"? Own up to what you've done. Don't deny it on openly TV throughout the world.
Because the so-called superstar today, we all know what we're talking about, is a hypocrite. A hypocrite because to go before national television and to suggest that he only used the steroid because there was an injury, and instead of cutting the... I mean, I could have vomited when I heard this from, was it the Arsenio Hall show?
On the show, and bringing up other people
because
that use steroids.
The facts are that the court clearly showed that the good doctor was going to go to jail for maybe 44 years and $3.5 million fine. The reason why he's been found guilty because he supplied that individual and many others with these deadly steroids for many, many years. And to come on national television and deny it all, that to me is a crime. That is absolutely.
And what makes a real man is if someone had a problem. Take myself, Bruno. I overdrank. I'm not saying I didn't. I'm openly coming out and saying that. But now I've realized that it's wrong. You can kill with drinking. I tell children, don't go in, drink and drive. You try to set an example. If you've done wrong, get help. Don't go out and deny what you've done. Accept what you've done. Tell people what you've done. Try to set an example. Try to make it a better country, a better world to live in. Don't get out and deny it because that's where you're wrong. That's what happened to Gary Hart. Denied he was with a woman, he was this and that, I didn't do it, come and follow me. They found him, and that lost the guy, probably that cost the guy the presidency. Admit what you do, openly. Richard Nixon, I don't believe he was a bad president, but he denied what he did, and the American public hates that. Go out and help.
Herb, let me ask Herb a question here. Now, Herb, you know, you've been promoting wrestling. I know you've been promoting other things, but his first professional wrestling's been about a year, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, as a relatively new promoter, okay, now you've been hearing all that has been going on in professional wrestling, these scandals that we had recently. As a promoter, And I know, because that's why we're here, because of the concept that you want to bring back.
That's correct.
How do you feel about it, and what would you do, or what steps can you take not to let such a scandal happen to the UWF?
Well, first of all, as you know, we have wrestlers from all parts of the world, and we openly have wrestlers that we are interested in that are competitive, and that is what the UWF strives for, is competitiveness. Unfortunately, there are probably some wrestlers, I mean, we do not at this point check for steroid use, but I will tell you this, I'm really not that familiar with steroids just until recently, and now that I have seen and heard some of these things, and I will also add that I happened to meet Billy Graham at his home, and I saw exactly from my own eyes what steroids has done to his leg and to his foot, and I will tell you that if there is anyone involved with taking steroids in our organization, we certainly don't want to welcome them, because we don't want to set an example for the children who are going to, of today, that are the people that are going to run this country years later. We certainly don't want to do that. That's really what the crust of what we're trying to bring out here at this point.
In other words, Herb, what you're trying to say, that Universal Wrestling is trying to bring wrestling back to the good old days of wrestling.
And not just about steroids. I mean, let's take steroids away from it. Let's just talk about actually wrestling. I mean, we know that our champion, Steve Dr. Death Williams, who recently won the title, there's no question in my mind, I have publicly made it very clear, that Steve Dr. Death Williams, who is one of the finest, in my opinion, the strongest and toughest professional wrestler today, can defeat any professional wrestler in the sport today, Bruno. And I think you might agree with that.
I absolutely agree with you, because, I look at the men's background, and when you look at Williams' background, I mean, this guy is not only a great professional, but he was a great amateur. I mean, here's a guy out of Oklahoma who just got nosed out by Bruce Baumgartner, who went on to win in the Olympic Games. And, when you get nosed out like that, that means that you could have 3-4 different workouts, and it could go either way at any time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the caliber of a wrestler that Williams was as an amateur, and then of course as a pro. Look at right now, he's since he won the Sports Channel America champion, he's already defending it. He's big in Japan. They won him.
Major star in Japan.
Yeah, he's a major star in Japan and other parts of the world, and that's the kind of champion that I think it makes a great representative of the sport of professional wrestling.
Bruno, can I interrupt you and ask you another question? When you say today the monkeys and the snakes and the parakeets, we know the organization we're talking about that is overly done, has overly exposed wrestling and made it into a complete comedy and I would call it a farce. Are you saying that in the old days, I'm in the business, so I'm probably saying what you're saying, that wrestling then, there was no showmanship, there was no sporting in the older days?
No, there was always showmanship. In fact, there were times when I saw some kind of form of showmanship that I honestly did not approve of.
Right.
But when I look back today, from what is to what was, really no comparison. For example, let's look at the old times, Gorgeous George. Gorgeous George, showmanship, he had these fancy robes here. But the difference was that Gorgeous George was a tremendous wrestler.
Right.
Buddy Rogers. Buddy Rogers and I, the whole world knows, we certainly were never friends. This guy and I, we fought each other. We did not like each other. Buddy Rogers was the nature boy, the blonde hair. He did it. But Buddy Rogers was a wrestler. So the point is that, yes, you had the showmanship, you had the fancy robes, you had the bleached blonde hair. But behind all that, you're a tremendous wrestler.
Sure.
I see people today, certain people today, who are all gimmick, all show, but no wrestling.
You know what gets me, Bruno? When they come out today, they say, well, today the boys, they're enhanced with these steroids, they're bigger than it. Do they forget about the Dr. Bill Millers weighing 300 pounds, standing 6'10"? They forget about Killer Kowalski, a man that magnificently looked at 290 pounds. Don Leo Jonathan, Jess Ortega, Bobo Brazil, a black athlete that stood 6'8" or 6'9". Bill Watt. What about those giants? What about the Argentina Rockers? Not in size-wise, but in acrobatic ability. What about the Bruno Sammartinos, the Vern Gagnes, the Luthez, the great, the Buddy Rogers? We had so many greats, but people seem to forget that. The young kids of today look out there and say, oh, this guy's doing this guy.
Captain, but the young kids, because they don't know. But you talk to the wrestling fans who are adults, and when you talk about wrestling, who do they mention? They mention these very names because they say those guys were wrestlers. Now today, and that's a shame, because you have people like Williams, as Herb just said. It's a shame because so many people are so turned off because of some other organization, what they've done, that it's unfair to people like Williams, because sometimes they tend to put the whole wrestling of
As
today
one
as
combined thing.
one.
Right.
And that's why Herb, like with yourself now, you have to be patient and you have to realize that it takes time through television exposure and what have you, and through the people that come to the arena, that they talk and they spread the word as to what is and what's going on. And it will take time, but it can be done and it will be done, because people who were real fans, they will come back when they see the kind of wrestling that they used to love.
Well, you know, Herb, not because you're my co-host in this corner, but I've got to say, working for you with Universal Wrestling as an interviewer of professional wrestlers, and I watched the caliber of wrestler you're bringing into the Universal Wrestling Federation, and I've got to say, I think you're doing a wonderful job. Perhaps it's going to take a little while, like Bruno said, for people to realize again that we have the best. But you're doing a great job, and we're very proud of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for this little segment that we've had today, and I want to say we'll see you next week.
We'll be back next week with more top action from Paul Orndorff, Orton, B. Brian Blair, Steve the Wild Thing Ray. Be there.
What's the real scoop on professional wrestling? There's only one way to find out. Call me on the Legend Line, Y900 Hot Bruno. Let's talk real wrestling. What's happening and where it's happening, I'll tell you. From the inside, call me now and be the best informed wrestling fan in your neighborhood.
UWF, the Universal Wrestling Federation, the pinnacle in sports programming.